Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, then welcome. My name is Quintessa. I'm an artist. I've been making YouTube videos for the past several months now, and I've really been enjoying sharing my journey with you all and just showing you guys my life as an artist. It's amazing. I've been loving every minute of it. There's been ups and downs, of course, just like with any job or career choice, but I've really been enjoying it. Today I want to show you guys some footage that I got from my art crawl. So I live in Minnesota, and St. Cloud in central Minnesota. St. Cloud has an art crawl that they do a couple times every year, and this is my first time participating in one or in an art crawl outdoor event at all, so I'm really excited. This is me about to go to, I'm literally about to leave the house in a few minutes, and I just wanted to pop in really quick and shoot an intro for you guys. I hope you enjoy this video. I am not sure what to expect just because it is an outdoor event, and it's going to be interesting because I don't have any outdoor equipment such as tents and weights and tables and stuff like that, so I'm improvising a little bit today, but I figured it's better to get my art out there in some way rather than not try it all. So we'll see how it goes. I'll try to take some footage at the event for you guys, but it's just going to be me there, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to record. At the very least, I'll take some shots on my phone of the event and such, and I'll pop back in here and talk to you guys a little bit and give you some updates about what's going on after the event and after I show you guys some of that footage. So I hope you guys are all doing amazing, and I'm really happy you're here today. Guys, I'm in my car, as you can tell. I have never been in this area before, so it's been a little I hate driving around in places I don't know where I am or where to go and everything, but I'm here. I'm a little bit early because I wanted to find a parking spot, but I did, and so now I'm just waiting, and yeah, I'm really excited. It's going to be in the street, and the street isn't quite closed off yet, so I'm just going to give a little bit and wait until they put the signs up and they close the street down before I start actually unloading my car. As you can see, I've got I'm pretty full. There's a bunch of stuff in the trunk too. Yeah, but I'm excited. We'll see how it goes, and I'll show you guys some clips later. You like the wool? Thanks. The artist? I am. Hi guys, I'm back. I'm sorry I wasn't able to film a whole lot at the show. So wow, what an experience, you guys. I figured I would just sit and chat with you guys for a little bit while showing you my continuation of this painting. So I guess I want to talk a little bit about just outdoor art show and events and just my experience doing this crawl that I just did, and I want to talk about I don't know, just what's been going on, because I feel like I haven't really been uploading a lot of YouTube videos. Life has been crazy, and I gave you guys an update over Instagram and all of my social media handles and stuff, but I don't think I've talked too much about just life and recent events in any of my YouTube videos. So we're gonna sit and chat for a little bit, and I want to give you guys a couple pointers just on doing events like this and craft shows and stuff like that. So before we get into that, I will just say that overall I had an amazing time at the art crawl. It was there were a lot more people than I thought there would be, which is really good, and it's really great for exposure. I had so many people stop by my little booth and grab business cards and stuff, and it's a college town, so there were a lot of younger kids and such that weren't exactly, I don't think, looking to buy a lot of art. I think these types of shows, it's really hit or miss depending on where you're at and the crowd that you're at around. So as you guys saw from the footage, my booth was very, I don't know, it wasn't the most professional looking, I guess. I do like for when I do things like this, for things to look very put together. But as I told you guys, this was a last minute event and I just decided to be a part of it within like a day or two of the event. So I didn't have time to go out and grab all of the things that really would have helped, I think, make it go a lot smoother. I didn't get to display a lot of my postcards and such because it was so windy. And I think that was really difficult because a lot of people seemed like they wanted just to buy smaller prints of art and stuff like that. So I really regret that I didn't have any outdoor equipment such as tents and weights and stuff like that. But you know, sometimes you just have to make do with what you have, and that's something I've been recently learning all about when it comes to my studio space as well. If you guys haven't been following or you're new, I recently changed my studio location to our basement, and I've been working on it for a couple months now and trying to make it as comfortable as possible. I am largely a person that is influenced by my environment, and if I'm in a really loud and busy and just hectic environment, that's exactly how I'm going to feel. So I've been trying to put together my studio and make it into the most creative and inspiring place that I could, and so far it's been coming along really nicely. I feel like it is over halfway done. I don't know if you guys can tell from this wall that is behind this painting. This is one of the last walls that I need to do in my actual studio space, and then we have kind of like a hangout living room area next to it with couches and stuff. But all of that to say, it would have been nice to have more tables and tablecloths and just a grid wall perhaps to be able to hang up the artwork that was sitting on the ground. And the wind was blowing my paintings all over the place, so I just ended up putting them on the ground and leaning them against the table and such because I didn't want them falling over anymore. And it looked like I was struggling. I'm sure there were people that were like, wow, this girl needs to figure her life out. But overall, you know, it was a very casual event. There were a lot of people. I made got a lot of new contacts and such, so it was really good. And I had some sales as well and said goodbye to a few pieces as well, so that's amazing. And yeah, I guess in summary, overall it went really well, but I feel like there's probably some things that could have helped out a lot when I was planning for this, and I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about that next. So I guess the first thing I will say, that when you're planning on doing a show that's similar to like a craft show, an art fair, an outdoorsy kind of event, especially if you're by yourself, I feel like this was my first time doing a live painting demo, and I really feel like that helped the time go by for when people weren't really engaging with me and talking to me. I wasn't sitting there putting pressure on people, staring at them awkwardly as they're looking at my stuff, and I feel like that helped out a lot just because people felt more comfortable to come and to watch me paint and to look at my stuff without me, you know, just staring at them. And, you know, the added pressure of just when you're walking by someone's booth, I'm kind of awkward when it comes to that. So I know that, at least for me, when I go and I'm trying to look at someone's stuff and they're sitting there just staring at me, and, you know, it just makes you feel a little pressured and you don't feel like you're as comfortable to sit and stay and to look as long. So I guess my first tip is to consider doing a live painting. For me, like I said in the beginning of this video, I was by myself. It was during a time when my husband was at work. He wasn't able to help me. It was so last minute. I didn't have any friends that were able to come out and help me out with setup and watching my booth and everything. So while it's really a really great way to pass the time when you're doing an event like this and you're doing live painting, I also just want to caution you against not paying attention to people that are walking by your booth and, you know, being too wrapped up in your painting. I had people that apologized for interrupting me, and I told them, you know, this is how I'm passing the time, and, you know, I'm here to engage with people and talk to them and talk to people about my art. So I told them, you know, don't feel that way at all. Don't feel bad. And, So some people did feel like they didn't want to interrupt, but I just made sure, I welcomed them and said hi when they came and looked at my booth and looked at my paintings and my artwork. And whenever they would ask me questions, I was quick to turn aside from my painting, which can be hard to do when you're in the zone. So yeah, I guess that's one of the first things I want to say if you guys are considering doing a show like this. That way, at least if I didn't have a lot of sales or anything, I would feel still like I was productive because I was able to get my art out there, while at the same time I was working on creating a piece. So that's the first thing. And this next tip is a little obvious. I feel like I've already kind of started mentioning it, but I want you guys to make sure that if you are planning an outdoor art crawl, craft fair, whatever it is, where you're going to need to be outdoors for it, I encourage you to pay attention to the weather and to think about the weather just in case, because we know like things like to change and the weather has a mind of its own, Mother Nature does. And I personally, as I already said, it was a last minute thing, so I didn't have a lot of time to really put together to get ready in this way. But for me, the big thing, luckily I didn't get rained out. It didn't rain till a lot later in the evening. But for me, I didn't even consider the fact that there might be wind or anything like that. Since it was in central Minnesota and I live farther up north, we get a lot of wind, at least especially at my house because we live on a hill. We get so much wind, and I didn't even think about the possibility of my paintings just flying around and being knocked over and all of that. So I don't know how I would go about this in the future when it comes to wind, but I know that I would need to come up with something, a way for the canvases to stay on the easels that I had displayed, a way for them to stay on the tables. I'm sure if they were on a grid wall and they were attached with S-hooks or something like that, they would have probably stayed on regardless of the wind. But it's just something to take into consideration because for me, it was something that was a big deal, and I had spent so much time trying to fix my display and put paintings back up, and I just felt like it was a little bit of a hassle. So make sure you pay attention to the weather. I never had to do this in the past either because I had always shown in galleries or in indoor places that you don't really ever even think about it. You don't ever have to supply tables and all of this. Like, you just bring your artwork and ways to hang it, and that's pretty much it, and you get supplied the rest. But for me, it was the opposite, doing an outdoor crawl, and it was great, but I know there's some things I need to put on my shopping list when it comes around time for the next time that I do something like this. And the next thing I want to talk about is to make sure that you are paying attention to where your location is. So for instance, I knew I was going into St. Cloud, and I knew kind of the area was a little more of a college town, and I wasn't sure if I'd make a lot of sales or not. So really, I want to encourage you guys to stay open-minded. Like I said in the beginning, a chance to get out there and show your art is better than not taking any chances at all and not showing your art at all. But I don't want you guys to have too high of an expectation of yourself and then feel really bad if you don't sell anything. Because to me, events like this it's not the point to just sell things and make money. While that is exactly, that's something that helps and that's something every artist wants, is to sell their pieces. I don't feel like we should put our focus on that. For me, I feel like it's better to get out there and to engage with people and to get your art in front of new audiences and for people to get to know a little bit about you and your work. So that is kind of my perspective, and that was my expectation, and that is one of the reasons I chose to do the live painting as well. That way, if I didn't sell anything, at least I was still getting something done with my time while engaging with people. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to mention for now anyway. Since this was my first outdoor event, I just want you guys to take my advice and these little tips with a grain of salt, because it's going to be a different experience for everybody, and it depends on your location, your artwork, just so many different factors, and my stories might not be the same for you. So I hope you guys, if you're considering doing something like this, I hope you go through with it, because it was really a great time. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I will definitely be doing more of these in the future, taking these little tips that I had shared with you guys into heart, and I really just want to encourage you all because it was a really great experience. Well, you guys, that about does it for today's video. First and foremost, I want to thank you all so much for stopping by and so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful, and I just want to let you guys know how grateful I am that you're here and how grateful I am that you've stuck around me for these past several months. It's just been an amazing experience to share this with you and to create art and to just share my passion with you all. So thank you for that. Before I end, I wanted to let you guys know that over the past couple weeks, I have added a couple new pieces, actually a lot of new pieces into my web shop. So if you guys have been wanting to check that out and to get an artwork, or if you had your eye on something, then now is a great time to take a look, because I am also doing a sale starting today up until Labor Day, September 2nd. So I really encourage you guys to take advantage of that 15% off. Use the code Labor Day, and just know that I really appreciate each and every one of you and all of the support that I get from you guys. You are amazing, and I hope you guys all have an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, keep creating.